stop it, block it, when I drop it. Anytime I go rhyme for rhyme on a topic. They ain't even fit to step in Shaq's arena. I look inside your mind and I see your shook demeanor. In your eyes, why are you surprised? No matter how you try, not fly as eloquaz. The new edition, is this the end of your last night? In the daytime, you couldn't see me with a flashlight. I crash flights on sights of my enemy. I'm coming through and then I bomb your whole vicinity. Why the acting, faking Jack, you're not a friend to me. I peeped your card, you're not as hard as you pretend to be. Who wanna spark it with the chocolate?
Yo, what's happening? What's happening? I see your eggplant. What's happening, dude? You're here early. Shot clock, what's good? What's good? What's up with y'all, man? What's up with y'all? We actually got a real good topic to discuss today, man. And this could be cut in half, 50-50. But been seeing a whole bunch of stuff going on lately for the past couple of days. And it's regarding Shaquille O'Neal, all right? Former teammate of Kobe Bryant. And I didn't actually see exactly what he said. I just know the internet has kind of been, saying that Shaq has been a little disrespectful lately. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I wasn't gonna go live tonight. I wasn't gonna go live. I'm actually a little bit tired. I'm actually gonna make this a little bit quick. Shaq been going on a lot of podcasts, Eggplant. He been going on a lot of podcasts. Allegedly been slandering Kobe, kind of saying that, if he did play with T-Mac, yeah, they would have won 3 rings, that Kobe wasn't really a factor in winning those championships. So, but I'm not even going to waste no time. We're going to go ahead and get right into this first podcast. Shaq was on, let's see. Yeah, this was his podcast. The big podcast with Shaq. He got the Morris twins, and he have Shaq's co-host. And I actually kind of found a portion where he's actually talking about Kobe Bryant. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to check that out and actually give our take on how we feel about Shaq's remarks. But I kind of have a feeling I'm not going to really care for this. Let's see. Eggplant. Slandering a dead person is insane. And Kobe was more important to the 2000s Lakers than Shaq was. I mean, hey, I'm not going to say Kobe was more important, but he was just as important, most definitely, because those early finals runs, Kobe had to take over in late game situations whenever Shaq was in foul trouble. So, 9 times out of 10, he wouldn't have won that first championship if it wasn't for Kobe anyway. So, I don't know, man. I mean, let's just see what Shaq got to say, man. Let's just see what he got to say, man. I got to prepare myself for this one because I love Shaq. I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm a Lakers fan. Shaq is in my top 10, but Kobe's my favorite player of all time. So we're going to have to ride for the Mamba. But anyway, let's roll a clip.
One dude versus all of them. Right. And then we're judging them on not beating them.
Right.
But then we're also giving Bill Russell credit for 11. There's a lot of arguments that argue against themselves. But Will also was averaging 50 points per game for a
get
season.
this off the screen. There you go.
And those are our 3, I think, Mike.
Eggplant, if he says something bad, I'm going to crash out. Hey, that's 2 of us, man. That's 2 of us for sure, man. Most deaf, bro. But let's see, man. There's actually 2 podcasts we're going to check out, man. I actually got another clip we're going to roll after this because Gilbert Arenas, he called Kobe Bryant a sidekick. And a lot of people called Gilbert Arenas out for that. And Shaq pretty much kind of said that, yeah, Kobe's not like a regular sidekick in so many words. Shot clock, do you think Kobe deserved any of the 3-peat finals MVPs? I do. I don't think Shaq should have got all 3. I know Kobe probably should have at least got that last one in 2002 against New Jersey. And if you look at, like, the points per game, like, they was both averaging, like, 38 points per game in those series. Shaq had a lot more rebounds, but Kobe was more efficient. Late game situations, Kobe was actually closing out the games. So, if you need somebody to seal and win, Kobe was the one going out there sealing those W's. It wasn't Shaq. Shaq did do a lot of the leg work early, but, because Shaq was such a bad free throw shooter in those late game situations, you couldn't necessarily play through him because all you had to do was foul him. And, that's a 1-on-1 situation in most, scenarios. Eggplant, he called him a sidekick. Yeah, man. Well, Gilbert Arenas there, you know how. And I don't think Gilbert was being disrespectful when he said it, but the narrative, and this is what, caused Kobe to actually go out on his own in 2004 and not wanting to play with Shaq anymore. Everybody discounted the 3 championships that he had. They had him on the same level as T-Mac, who never got out the first round. And that wasn't fair because I think Kobe was on a more superior level than T-Mac. And you could kind of see that, like when Shaq left, went to Miami, he did get a championship first, but Kobe ended up getting 2 after that, So Kobe, as the main man, led his team to titles. So, I think that pretty much dead or destroyed that narrative, in the whole. But yeah, Gilbert Arenas said that, but he was really like speaking on the account of the media at that time. So I don't think Gilbert Arenas said Kobe's a sidekick. He was saying that the narrative was Kobe was seen as that way. And, when he was playing with Shaq, that's how they viewed him. So, but yeah, we're going to roll that clip next. I actually might even roll Gilbert Arenas' take on that. But anyway, we'll roll this clip right quick.
Kobe Bryant, you figure it out. Mike is the great.
Rewind this song.
And those are our 3. I think Mike, Kobe Bryant, you figure it out. Mike is the greatest of all time. Kobe cannot be the closest to Mike and not be top 3 greatest of all time. That doesn't even sound right.
T-Mac made a statement the other day, and I'm going to answer if you guys answer. He said,
Yeah, Eggplant. I knew they were always enemies, but so bad that Shaq is still talking trash after he is dead is insane. Facts, man. Oh, appreciate it, man. Hey, bro, I had to rep this for Kobe, bro. I had to rep this for Kobe. Most definitely. Appreciate it, Shot Clock. But yeah, I mean, it's just after Kobe passed away, a lot of people had a lot of empathy for the situation, a lot of sensitivity toward the situation. But it's now, we're 5 years removed from that, tragic incident. People, true colors are starting to show again. You know what I'm saying? And ever since T-Mac made those comments, and of course, Shaq is going to feel some type of way. John. Yeah, appreciate it, Eggplant. I tried, dog. I tried, man. Somebody need to sponsor me one of these days, bro. But yeah, man, it's like we're getting further and further away from that tragic incident, and now people's true colors are coming back out. And, Shaq is a very sensitive guy. I actually talked about this before in a previous podcast, how, somebody made a comment, said that, Shaq, he always kind of bullies the new generation's big men, like the Dwight Howards, the Rudy Goberts, the JaVale McGee's, like guys like that, right? Jokic's, and I think that kind of stems from a place of jealousy. You know what I'm saying? I think the reason why Shaq feel he need to insert his dominance and state that he's better than somebody or put himself a tier ahead of somebody is because of, 1, insecurity, all right, and 2, maybe jealousy, because I know Dwight Howard got it really harder than anybody because, Dwight Howard was considered to be Superman, when he was playing with the Orlando Magic because of that dunk he did in the dunk contest, where he dressed up as Superman. Shaq wanted to be Superman. He had a tattoo, in his mind, oh, I'm the original Superman. He's a poser, Dwight Howard brought the Magic to the finals also, and it's Shaq became an afterthought in Orlando. Let's just be real. You know what I'm saying? Dwight Howard did more in Orlando than what Shaq was able to do there. And the fans of Orlando, they actually appreciated Dwight more than they did Shaq, and I think Shaq kind of took that personally. But you can see there's still a little bit of animosity toward Kobe. Even though he was probably the biggest praiser of Kobe after his passing, but it's now it's all right, the competitive, I'm 1A, you 1B, or I'm 1 and you 2, or whatever. That whole narrative is starting to kind of come back to light, coming from Shaq. Eggplant Dog. Shaq is always downplaying people. I think Jokic is better in total honesty because he isn't like Shaq, how he has an ego, and Jokic is chill. Yeah, that's a fact, man. I personally think Jokic do have to get more championships, but he has more MVPs. Jokic is a 4-time MVP, really should have been a 5-time MVP. No, I'm sorry, he's only a 3-time MVP. But he should have been at least a 5-time MVP. I think this year, Shea, I don't think he deserved it. I think Jokic had a better year. And also, whenever Joel Embiid won it a couple years ago, the year that Jokic won the title, I thought that Jokic head and shoulders was better than Joel Embiid, and I actually did a video on that. I actually I covered that. You could go ahead and find that, come back to this, whatever, but I covered that whole topic, and I looked at advanced analytics and stats, and Jokic was leading the league in all the advanced stats, PER, win shares, offensive win shares. Jokic was affecting outcomes more than any other player, and it wasn't even close. Shot clock. Man, I had Shaq. I had Shaq at number 8 all time on my list. Jokic would probably be just outside of my top 10, probably close to 15. But yeah, I have Shaq at 8 because he is a 4-time championship winner. Does have 3 Finals MVPs. I definitely do think he should only have 1 MVP. That dominant year in 2000. Yeah, nobody was close. But other than that, Duncan did have better years whenever he won MVP. I definitely think Kobe deserved more MVPs. But, that's just my take. That's why I got Kobe higher than Shaq on my list. I got Kobe at 5 personally. Eggplant Dog. And the stats, man, Jokic has better stats and Shaq has way more rings because he had a way better team. Yeah, that's facts. Jokic number 2 guy is Jamal Murray. Whenever Jamal Murray plays against the Lakers, he always turns into looks like a prime Allen Iverson, but more efficient, right? Just nonstop. But outside those Lakers series, man, Murray be kind of disappearing a little bit. And I think Jokic is so talented, no matter who you put around him, he could make those guys better. You know what I'm saying? Can you say the same for Shaq? No matter who you put around Shaq, they're going to be successful because prior to Kobe, Shaq was getting knocked out the playoffs a lot, or prior to Penny Hardaway, they had that deep run, with the Orlando Magic to the NBA Finals in 95. But outside of that, where's the playoff success at? The overall win-loss record is relatively low compared to Jokic and Kobe. Let's see. I'm actually getting a little bit backed up on comments. Stacy, what's happening? Welcome to the live. What's happening? Good to see you again. Shot clock, get Jokic some help. Man, I don't know what Denver's doing, shot clock. I don't know. David, what's happening? Welcome to the live, David. Thank you. Shaq might have been the greatest force in the NBA. Let's see. Outside 10 foot. Yeah, I agree. Defending the Joker. His only tactic is bullying players because he's bigger and stronger. Yeah, and with today's rules, you can't really do that anymore. I'm sorry, I'm kind of losing track of my chat. Eggplant Dog. Jamal Murray is good sometimes, but other than Jokic casted some Serbian spells to make everyone better. I don't know. Hey, that could be true, man. I just don't think Jokic get enough credit. I just don't think he get enough credit to how good he really is. Because if you look at it, the past 5 years, nobody's been better than Jokic. Nobody's been better. And I think sometimes they give MVPs to other people because it's just you don't want to have the same guy just win it every single year. You know what I'm saying? Because then you got to make people feel like they got an opportunity to win it. Stacy, when Shaq gets sensitive, he brings up his 4 rings. We gonna see what he about to say here. I'm really excited to see his take on Tracy McGrady and Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? Because he never played with T-Mac. He played with Kobe. You know what I'm saying? So it's I feel like you should kind of have a bias in this situation. The guy that you were teammates with that got you most of those championships playing alongside of you, I figure you'll have kind of a bias. Nah, man, Kobe. And you heard Shaq on multiple accounts say that Kobe is the best player on earth over him. You know what I'm saying? I think that was a fact in a lot of those series, with the way he took over games. Eggplant Dog, I think Jokic is a GOAT, but not the GOAT yet. Yeah, he definitely got a lot more years in the tank also. He needs a little bit more deep playoff runs. Like, he always have a deep run. I think if the referees didn't let Caruso beat him with a billy club, I think the Nuggets probably could have easily made it to the NBA Finals again. You know, because that series against OKC went to Game 7. And the reason why that game turned out the way it did was because they was letting Caruso do whatever he wanted to Jokic. You know, and it was obvious. But anyway, man, we'll go ahead. We'll roll this clip, man. We'll see what Shaq got to say.
Shaq made a statement the other day, and I'm going to answer after you guys answer. He said, if you switch him and Kobe out, as far as playing with me, the outcome is the same. You agree or disagree?
No, you're not just saying you switching out with Kobe and you're gonna be what Kobe was. That's not. Yeah, I don't agree with nothing away from nothing away from T-Mac. Great player. Oh, you not Kobe. Yeah, and that mentality too.
I might have to disagree.
I don't know though. You know my.
Why you gotta disagree, Shaq? Why you gotta disagree? I mean, I'm just saying, like, and the thing that Kobe had that T-Mac didn't, the only clutch moment that comes to memory for me that T-Mac had was it 13 points in 33 seconds against San Antonio, which in that scenario, like, the game is over, the fans are leaving the arena. Why not give it one last effort? The shots are falling. That's a clutch moment, right? Big time in-state rival, whoop-de-doo. Great moment, right? That's the only moment to my memory that I have of T-Mac being clutch. The only one to my memory. Maybe I'm not the biggest T-Mac fan, even though I love T-Mac. You know what I'm saying? Up to this point, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still love T-Mac. But the reason why Kobe was so special with those Lakers teams was because he was able to take over games in late situations. When they needed a bucket, when they needed somebody to take over, be clutch, hit big time shots. That's where Kobe made his reputation at being the Robin playing with Shaq. He was acting like Batman in those situations. Shot clock, can't compare T-Mac to Kobe. There's no comparison. Now, you could compare their skill sets, right? You know, like T-Mac could shoot off the dribble. T-Mac could shoot out the post. T-Mac could shoot the long ball. T-Mac could take you off the dribble and finish in the paint. You know what I'm saying? He's a 3-level scorer. There was no weakness of his on offense. He could do everything on offense. Kobe could too. But the only difference between those two was on the defensive side of basketball. I don't remember T-Mac winning any type of defensive accolades. I don't remember him making an all-defensive team. I don't remember him making all-defensive team 9 times, first team, or, you know, I don't remember that. Yeah, he had all of the tools to do that. You know, he was 6'9". He was relatively athletic, but he was getting cooked too. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you put up 32 points per game, but if your opponent is scoring, you know, an average of 20 points on you, then, you know what I'm saying, like, you're not a good defender. Now, he did have one good series against Dirk Nowitzki, you know, in the Houston versus Mavs series. But outside of that, like, I don't remember T-Mac being a good defender. So there goes, you know, 2 things that you could say that Kobe is better than, being clutch and being a good defender. Well, let's see. Eggplant. Shaq is envious of someone because he is not an amazing player. I mean, he is, but there's people better than him, and he gets that. Yeah, I mean, that's true. You know, some people are better than him. I mean, butthurt. Yeah, true that, Eggplant. Yeah, sorry, y'all. I'm trying to keep up. T-Mac ain't nowhere near Kobe's level. ASAP Steph, what's happening? Welcome to the live, too, man. Kobe made 3 straight finals and won 2 rings. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Shot clock, kind of off topic, but what is your all-time starting 5? Ooh, man, that's tough. My all-time starting 5. Shot clock, that'll probably be Magic at point, Mike at the 2. The 3, I got LeBron. 4, Tim Duncan. And 5, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's my starting five. David, what's happening? What's happening? Shaq is slick. Retired a decade ago. And likes to have convos. Yeah, I mean that's facts, man. I mean he gotta live in the moment, man. Stacy, I don't know if T-Mac even won an Olympic medal. He didn't, at least to my knowledge. Keaton Ward, what's happening? Welcome to the live, Keaton. What's happening? Coffee Cake. Just like fighters, any current athlete destroys past athletes in any competition. Good take. Always me. What's happening? Welcome to the live. Shaq, can't deny that. Without Kobe, he wouldn't 3 of his rings. Yeah, couldn't deny that. Without Kobe, he wouldn't have won 3 of his rings. Sammy Productions, what's happening? Is it? Yeah, it's Sammy Productions, right? What's happening? Welcome to the live. But yeah, man, but I don't know. It's just like you have 2 professional basketball players, some more Swins. Shout you out. Yeah. What's happening? Sammy Productions. Hey, Sammy, what do you do, man? I got to check you out. But you have 2 twins. I don't know if y'all can see my cursor, but 2 twins right here, right? Play professional basketball. And they're saying, like, you can't put them in the same conversation. But here you go. You got Shaq, because the narrative is that he could win with Shaq. Oh, yeah, of course. Of course T-Mac can win with me. It's a thing that, Shaq is prideful. He think he can win with anybody, and I think he's going to make a comment talking about Steph Curry and all that stuff, but we'll roll it a little bit more. Let's see. No, don't. No. Wait, Sammy Productions, what's up? What's up, man? What you do, man? Let me know what you do. Coffee Cake, Shaq's ego could fill MetLife Stadium. Overrated and a bad teammate. Facts. Always me. What's happening? Welcome to the live. The crazy part is, if Kobe was still alive, none of this would be said. I agree 100%. Even though Shaq was probably one of the few that, he had beef with Kobe at that time, but he made a Kobe diss track. I don't think Shaq would do that after they rekindled their friendship. But definitely, David A., without Kobe, I'm sure Shaq still makes deep playoff runs, but those rings are in question. 100%, man, because, somebody got to be clutching those late-game situations. Who is Shaq playing with? I mean, Dwayne Wade was able to do it, but, who is Shaq playing with outside of a Kobe and D-Wade in that early span that could make those clutch shots and take over the game like that? And be Jordan-like in those moments. Nobody. Eggplant Dog, Sam Productions, make him an edit of Kobe or something. Make him do a Kobe celebration. Oh, man, I can't really give you a Kobe celebration, man. I don't know, I don't know. Coffee Cake, give me Jokic 7 days a week. Hey, in today's game, give me Jokic. Give me Jokic. Dude could do it all. 100%, man. But, yeah, let's see what they got to say, though. Let's see where Shaq disagrees.
The difference mine is, though, big fella, is the mentality. It was on, that killer mentality. Everybody didn't have that. He was a great player. Don't get me wrong, but it was times that Mike and Kobe. I felt like that Mike gave Kobe something that nobody else would be able to even imitate and be able to have that mentality. A lot of players no other players had it really.
I agree with you saying, but I'm saying I didn't look at it like that. That's why I like everybody's opinion. You don't think I could have won 3 with T-Mac?
David, Shaq acts like he didn't ring chase after leaving Kobe and only got 1 that way. Facts. That is a fact. Shot clock. Charlotte finally won something. 2025-26 Summer League. Hey, man, a win's a win. And that's saying a lot about your franchise if you win the Summer League. Eggplant Dog, Shot clock. I know I'm a Hornets fan, and I'm happy. Yeah, man. Hey, salute to Charlotte, man. They definitely, they went undefeated in the Summer League, man. So, yeah, that's unprecedented, That's dope. Always me. How can you say Kobe was a carbon copy of MJ and replaced Kobe with T-Mac? Are you saying T-Mac was like Jordan? Is that what you're getting at? I mean, that's not fair. That's not accurate at all.
Well, I like everybody's opinion. You don't think I could have won 3 with T-Mac?
Oh, 100%.
I think I could have.
Yeah, for sure.
T-Mac was a bad boy.
But then, but I don't
What
want to
about
think
the
about
two
it's
after
taking
you
away
left?
from that though.
T-Mac was a bad boy.
I feel like time you put any of the
You could
top
say that
stars
about
on the team
outside
with
of
you.
T-Mac. You could say a lot of them. Put them next to you at that time.
Good point.
Right.
All right, what about Vince? Me and Vince.
I feel like
3 in a row.
people downplay Vince. They just think he a dunker. Vince was one of the most talented
he was,
players ever played.
I believe the same thing.
All right, what is the Morris twins doing right now? Are they changing the narrative now? Or are they agreeing that if you put anybody with Shaq now, I don't know what's going on here. Coffee Cake, what did T-Mac really do? Give me Allen Iverson's career over his any day. AI never had help. Facts. ASAP Steph, people now play Kobe for winning with Shaq, but don't mention Jordan or LeBron's great teammates. That's not fair. Why do we have, well, not we, but why do the media have that narrative when it comes to Kobe? Why is that? And I think it's probably like the protection of Michael Jordan's legacy, right? Because people say, oh, Jordan did that. Jordan won 6 rings. They don't include Scottie Pippen. They don't include Horace Grant. They don't include Scottie Pippen. Dennis Rodman, Ron Harper, B.J. Armstrong, John Paxton, Steve Kerr. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has some pretty decent teammates. Key players, right? Genius coach, Phil Jackson. The winningest coach in history, right? When it comes to titles. They don't mention all that stuff. ASAP Steph, because media want to make up their own narrative. Facts. I mean, the media controls everything. They control who wins awards, the mindsets of a lot of people. If you don't watch the game for yourself, you just watch the media, like that's going to be what you roll with. You know what I'm saying? David A. Shaq, after leaving Kobe, had an insane number of Hall of Fame teammates and didn't win after Miami. Yeah, even in Miami, he had legendary teammates: Gary Payton, White Chocolate, Dwayne Wade. He played with Alonzo Mourning too. So he has some talented guys around him. Antoine Walker, Stacy. I don't think rings don't define how great a player is. Yeah, I mean that's pretty fair. Like Akeem Olajuwon don't have a lot of rings. He only have 2, but a lot of people talk about him as one of the greatest ever, which he is. Like one of the most skilled, not even just big man, but one of the most skilled players in history. Like, I don't think rings should tell the whole story with people, because if that's the case, like, Bill Russell's the GOAT, and he's not the GOAT. No disrespect. Yeah. Eggplant, be right back. Yeah, definitely, man. We'll be here, man. I'm gonna try to live stream till like 11 Central, man. Cause I gotta rest up, man. I gotta take my daughter to the doctor early in the morning, man. So we got a long drive ahead of us. But I just gotta talk about this, like Shaq's opinion and take on this. But what is the Morris twins doing right now? Like, I don't get it, dude. Like,
Vince, me and Vince.
I feel like
3 in a row.
I feel like people downplay Vince. They just think he a dunker. Vince was one of the most talented
he was,
players ever played.
I believe the same thing.
Actually, when he said that, a lot of people hit me, but T-Mac was a bad boy.
Yeah, for sure.
He was.
And I feel like even not saying it, it's just like Kobe just watching, playing in the league, and was a fan of, like, everybody watched T-Mac. Everybody knew how good T-Mac was. But if you asking a question about him or Kobe Bryant, I don't know what team they was on. If he, obviously everybody's path different, but like what Kobe has, there was only one other player that's the greatest player in the world has. Like they the only 2 that has that.
I just realized I'm a few years older than you guys. I'm from Bucks County.
and that's speaking volumes. So like, and I don't even know if that's Marcus or Markeith. I can't tell them apart. But with what that Morris twin just says, like it sounds like he kind of got like Kobe is like number 2 all time, which, a lot of people have Kobe in their top 3. I personally think you cannot have that conversation at this point without including LeBron. Yvonne Pendergrass, what's happening? Welcome to the live. What's happening? Welcome. Yeah, we're talking about some juicy stuff when it come to Shaquille O'Neal. Pause. But always me. Kobe is number 2. Who's your top 5? Always me. Who's your top 5? And it's like, Stacey, yeah, I got Kobe number 2. Fair. I personally don't. I think Kareem need to be in that conversation too. Kareem need to be in that conversation. But if we're talking Michael and Kobe, I don't think Sammy, what's happening? I don't think you can have that conversation without including LeBron in it now. Like you can't. It's just like, I don't know, man. That's just my opinion. Stacey, Kobe, number 2 all-time shooting guard. Oh, 100%. Yeah, without a doubt. Always me, MJ, Kobe, AI, Magic, Bird. Man, you ain't got no big man, man. Where your next big man gonna fall? Let's see. Coming in kind of quick. David A. You got to protect the legacy of the greats. Yeah, that's a fact, man. ASAP, Steph, Curry, Kobe, Jordan, LeBron, Shaq. Okay, so you actually got Shaq in your top 5, which is a unique stance. I mean, hey, that's fair. Sammy Production, who is better, Magic or Curry? I personally have Magic higher on my list. Stacey, top 3 shooting guards, MJ, Kobe, D Wade. Always me, Kareem, my big bet. Yeah. Kareem should be in that GOAT conversation too. I don't know why a lot of us don't put him in that conversation, because he's probably, outside of LeBron, it's definitely Kareem that could compete the best with Jordan. Sammy Productions. I know D Wade, he went to school with my uncle and he held me when I was a baby. Nice. That's dope, man. Hot take. I don't have D Wade in my top 5 shooting guards. I don't have D Wade in my top 5 shooting guards. I know y'all about to come for me in the comments, but hear me out. All right. James Harden run in that mid to late 2010s decade was phenomenal. All right. Even though it didn't end in a championship. Yeah, you're right. Rest in peace to Kobe. Stacey, top 5 all time. Curry, MJ, LeBron, Duncan. All right, respect. I know you San Antonio, Stacey, and Jokic. ASAP, Steph. Wait, no D Wade in top 5 shooting guards. Yeah, hey, and this is my top 5 list. All right, for shooting guards: Mike, Kobe, Harden, Jerry West, Allen Iverson. Yeah, he was dropping 4. Yeah, man. Hey, Harden was unguardable. Like, the NBA had to make up a rule in order for Harden not to get away with that, get somebody in the air and get to the free throw line, man. I mean, I think that's more respectable, which, by the way, Dwayne Wade did, all right? He did for a long time. A lot of those points he got was off of that up fake, get the guy in the air, lean into him, shot attempt, free throw line. Harden perfected it, right? Let's see. Stacey, D Wade, not in your top 5. Hey, I'm sorry. That's just my personal preference. That's my personal preference. D Wade never won a league MVP. All right. He never won a league MVP. Everybody in my top 5, they got league MVPs. He did get a finals MVP, but D Wade over West and AI, he was a good defender too. Yeah, I mean, D Wade, he has the most blocks for a shooting guard. Yeah, that's true. But it's just, he always needed somebody to be effective when he was by himself. You know, when, man, who was on those Heat teams? I can't really quite remember. But they were borderline, like, getting knocked out by the Atlanta Hawks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember those years. Let's see. Bob NJ, random facts, D Wade wears nail polish and is involved for some. Yeah, that's a fact, man. Yeah, yes. Sammy Production, who is better, Akeem the Dream or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? I personally think Kareem's better, but I got plenty of love for Akeem Olajuwon. Not gonna lie to you. But and I'm gonna talk about Kareem in a little bit. Bob and J Facts, ASAP, Steph, honorable mention, Manu Ginobili. And what? For your top 5 shooting guards. But he'll be like what, your 6th man, which is the irony in that, right? But back to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Shot clock. I probably won't be going live tomorrow. Probably won't be going live. I'm gonna try my best, but probably not. Shot clock. Stacey, the best six man all time is Lou Will. I think Jamal Crawford got it. But Lou Williams, I mean, he's a good option too. David, I feel like Wade benefits from ring culture. I agree with him at 6. Facts. You know, like the bulk of his rings, you got one. I mean, Shaq was a little bit over the hill, but you had an epic collapse from the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas had that series won until the referees intervened. It was up 2-0 in that series. Referees helped out. Oh, let's get Shaq a ring. Woohoo. You know. HJHD, what's happening? Welcome to the live. What's up? Always me. Kareem did way more in the league than Akeem. Yeah, I'm going to get back to that. Sammy Productions, always me. Reasonable. Goat Center. Shaq, no doubt. Eric Keys, what's happening? Kareem was so good they eliminated Duncan from the game. Facts. And UCLA. Shot clock. Do you see OKC back to back? I don't know, man. I doubt that. I doubt that's gonna take place. ASAP Steph, D Wade played defense though, while those other guards didn't, except Kobe and MJ. Yeah. But how many defensive teams did he make? I'll wait. HJHD, Kareem played with tough defense. Did he not? That's a fact. He went up against Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain, Bill Walton, Wes Unseld. You know, yeah, man. Like some of the greatest bigs in history. Artist Wilmore. But like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, this dude is a 6-time MVP. Guess what? Most of all time. All right. The player behind him, Michael Jordan, with 5. 6-time champion. Guess what? Tied with Jordan. All right. Up until when LeBron passed his record, was the all-time leading scorer in the NBA. And he held that position for 38 years. It took 38 years for somebody to come and outperform him. And had not LeBron been the physical specimen he is, that record would have never been eclipsed. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kareem don't get the credit that he deserves. Somebody said earlier, when he played for UCLA, he was so dominant, you couldn't dunk a basketball because of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Lou Alcindor, who he was back then, right? You know, when it comes to the 70s, this dude literally dominated the whole decade in the dark ages. And I think that's probably why he don't get the respect that he deserves because, you know, that was a tough time in basketball. He did only get one championship also in that decade, that one in Milwaukee with Oscar Robertson. But he was head and shoulders better than everybody else. You know, the only one that came a little bit close was Bob McAdoo, in my opinion, which I personally think he's underrated. I think he needs more credit. So, you know, a lot of people, and I think Kareem get the same type of treatment that Kobe gets. Oh, he played with Magic, who just so happened to be a top 5 player, right? But in late game situations, Kareem was the one hitting those big shots. You know, they needed a clutch shot, give the ball to Kareem. Hook shot, nobody could stop it. You know it's coming. He could throw a little shoulder fake, whatever. That hook shot, when that shot going up, nobody's blocking that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to look it up. Like, did anybody ever block the sky hook? I don't think so. Sammy Productions, do you think if Jordan never left, he would have more rings? I don't think so. Always me. It took almost 30 years of LeBron playing to pass him, and he's still chasing MJ. He's going into year 23. Stacey, Kareem had his own shot. Facts. Most unguardable move in basketball. Shot clock, where's your number one LeBron destination? Los Angeles, my friend. Los Angeles. HD, Bob McAdoo does not get no love if we know ball. That guy could ball. And better than half the people in these leagues. Yeah. Hey, and everybody in the comments, man, hey, that's a legit question. Where do y'all have LeBron going if he doesn't stay with the Lakers? That's a good question. Same Productions for baseball. Yeah, like if he didn't retire, I still see Houston winning. Because Jordan leaves. What does the Bulls do? They win, what, one less game? Still win the division? No, I'm sorry. They was actually, they came in second in the division behind New York. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I still see New York probably getting to the finals, and I see Houston winning. Like, I don't really see much changing. Maybe in 95, and it's like I'm sorry, shot clock. Yeah, we're off topic a little bit. We're off topic a little bit. But, you know, maybe 95 is different, but like, what's the narrative for Jordan if he loses one finals now? Because what everybody can say is he never lost. He never lost. He never lost in the finals. But if he stays playing through that whole decade and lose in 94, it's a narrative the same as he's still a GOAT, being 6-1 or 6-2 or whatever, right? OKC is not going back-to-back. Pacers would just have that on their mind and seeking revenge. And if not, OKC going to back-to-back in finals but losing. Sammy Production, Cavs gotta offer Garland, Jared Allen, and some picks and done. Yeah, hey, that's a fact. That's all I need. I'm taking that. Matter of fact, what else do you want? That's not Luka Doncic. Mavs AD come back. Man, I ain't gonna lie, I really like Golden State, man. I like the way Golden State looks. And man, Houston is scary if Durant buys in. But anyway, but getting off topic a little bit, we're gonna get back on the Shaq thing. It's a whole lot of slander going on from a lot of people, right? D Wade has slander, which also, I ain't gonna lie, pushed him out of my top 5, right? But anyway, neither here or there. T-Mac, I don't think he really meant to be disrespectful, but, you know, that's the only player he could probably compare himself to in that situation because, you know, the Lakers were the standard, right, in the 2000s decade. It was them and the Spurs, you know, so it's like the player in your position is Kobe Bryant, and I think he unintentionally did it, but it was taken the wrong way. I took it the wrong way personally, but you got a lot of people running with it. You know what I'm saying? D Wade running with it. You know, you got Jeff T running with it, Gilbert running with it. You know, you got Shaq running with it, who was a teammate of Kobe. And this is where I kind of say, like, hey, man, this is probably the most disrespect you could get against, you know, Kobe Bryant. Let's see. Big question to everyone. What you got, Sammy? Always me. MJ has other accolades that make him number one, even if he lost one. What is that? Always me. CP3 and Dame went back to Clips in Portland. Russ coming back to OKC. I don't think so. But back to the Shaq thing. We gonna go ahead. Let me roll a little bit more of this clip. Eggplant, appreciate you, man. Welcome back. Listen, Shaq is the best center, but putting him in your top 5, I don't know, because this guy cannot make a free throw or a 3. Come on. Make at least one. My top 5, MJ, Kobe, LBJ, Larry, and Magic. Fair. That's fair. I mean, I can't really debate that. And maybe like my top 5 is just balance. I'll say it's balanced. Like my top 5 could probably be like a starting 5 because I kind of got like a mix between like, you know, guards, you know, floor generals, big men, all that stuff. You know, it's really balanced. Tash, what's happening? Sometimes though, when Shaq needed them free throws, he would hit. I wouldn't hold my breath. Sir McSheep, what's happening? Welcome to the live. Yeah, that's a fact, man. But yeah, let's roll a little bit more. I'm going to try to get this clip out the way right quick, man. And we'll go on to the next one because the next one is where it really gets a little spicy.
So I grew up hearing about Kobe at Lower Merion.
Lower Merion, yep.
And then I also remember this guy and Kobe coming to Philadelphia in 2001, booing Destiny's Child because I think Beyonce was wearing a Lakers jersey. Yes. Like, what, being from Philly and then Kobe playing in Philly, how much, were you like big fans of him when you guys were coming up?
Extremely big fans, but we was more AI guys.
Oh
that
my
time.
gosh,
Yeah.
the best.
The best. Yeah.
What, nobody can
break your
overtake Bubba Chuck like in
Yeah,
Philadelphia.
That time, yeah.
TGI Friday.
Here we go, Sir McSheep back on with the shenanigans again, man. Back with the shenanigans again. Ooh.
Fridays.
No touching them.
Man.
No touching.
Every week.
Shaq, I'm telling you, man, like that series when AI dropped that in game 1,
Whoopie freaking.
it really felt like we won.
That was
Raja
like the
Bell
series
and
was
Eric
over,
Snow.
One
That
game.
shit was over.
Whoopie freaking do.
Yeah, but I know that game still pisses you off.
It does because I wanted to go. Because I
4,
wanted
4,
to go.
4.
Yeah, I wanted to go 16-0.
The Moses Malone. Man, and then also, I still can't believe you're a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
Like that.
Die hard.
I wake up every day.
Cowboys fans just die hard.
I get it. All right, so one more time for Luna Zul means blue moon, and they are going.
All right,
super
y'all.
moon.
That pretty much wraps up that clip. That wraps up that clip. You know, it's just, and that's just classic Shaquille O'Neal. Very egotistical, right? You know, he thinks that he was the best thing since sliced bread in that early decade. Which, I mean, he was dominant. You know, he was tough to stop, but to his own detriment, you know, he didn't live up to the hype. Sammy Productions, I'm a Kobe Glazer. HJHD is not Glaze. It's just he's good. Yeah, I mean, facts. Stacy, of course, I already know you rocking with Cowboys. HJHD, he's really just good. A question, he's better than all them. I said except MJ. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, Shaq definitely knows how to trigger people. Shemage, come out of your trailer. Let's throw hands. Hey, man, I tell you what, this is a really nice trailer right here. Kobe would be better if he would shed a rock. I don't know. Sammy Productions, appreciate you. Hey, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, all right? But yeah, but it's just the narrative is just, I don't think it's fair. Jim, what's happening? Trash Shaq got such a fragile ego. Yeah, and I think that's really like what this tour is about, is just he's going on multiple podcasts and he's just like reinserting himself as, you know, option A or option 1A, you know, like I'm Batman, I'm the leader. And in this next clip we're actually about to roll, you know, you actually gonna kind of see it like, hey, don't get it twisted, who's number one, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I actually watched bits and pieces. I didn't watch the whole thing. We're gonna go ahead and watch it together, but you know, let me see. Shaq was really good. He's just not the best. That's a fact. That's a fact. Because we already know people that are better with the defenses and stop Shaq did good. Yeah, facts. People saying Westbrook is the best player to not win a chip. I don't know. That's tough. Maybe top 10, but CP3 never won. Charles Barkley never won. Karl Malone never won one. John Stockton never won one. You know, so it's just, you know, I can't necessarily say that. I can't say that. Taj, nah, bro. CP. Yeah. Let's see. Kobe has 1 MVP and 2 Finals MVP. Doesn't compare to LeBron's 4 and 4 defensive first teams. Sorry, man, I missed that one. Chat going kind of quick. But anyway, man, but hey, we're going to go ahead. All-Star is what's happening, man? Dorito Gang, what's happening? Many others, man. Yeah. But yeah, let's go ahead. We're going to roll this next clip, man. We're gonna see what he got to say here, and I'm going to give my little take as we go. But, you know, I think in this clip right here, I think he's actually a little bit more disrespectful, you know, like whenever it comes to the sidekick narrative, because, you know, one of the reasons why Kobe initially, you know, decided to step out and do his own thing was because, as per Kobe, you know, everybody's talking about the sidekick narrative, and Phil wasn't saying anything, and Shaq wasn't saying anything. Therefore, it seems like they were kind of like, you know, agreeing a little bit with the narrative. All-Star were debating about. I don't think we're really debating much, man. I think the chat is pretty much in agreement that that Shaq's ego is a little bit fragile. You know, Shaq is being very disrespectful whenever it comes to the defense of Kobe Bryant. You know, you got a lot of people slandering him and disrespecting him in so many ways and putting other people in categories that don't belong in the same category as Kobe. And instead of Shaq kind of killing that narrative off, being a former teammate of his, he's kind of like reinforcing it a little bit, saying that, yeah, I could have won with anybody. And that's just not right. You know what I'm saying? Eggplant Dog, can I be a mod? Always watching. Yeah, most def, man. Most def. HJHD, you don't know ball. Shot clock. Wait, shot clock? Eggplant Dog, All-Star Edits. He is talking about, yeah, facts. Shot clock. Yep. But anyway, man, we'll go ahead and roll this clip.
The narrative of Kobe, when he had 3 rings, he was still compared to as an equal to T-Mac, who had 0. And he kind of said the quote, like, you don't really respect the second option. You know, you respect the guy who's in the driver's seat, but you don't really respect the passengers, alluding that you were in the driver's seat and Kobe was the passenger. Do you believe that narrative that's kind of been circulating now is fair or accurate, or kind of just your perspective? Because, like, obviously you were right there with Kobe as this is going on.
You know, a lot of times you can say certain words that can be taken as negative and positive. What he said was absolutely true. But Kobe's not your average passenger. But Kobe's not your average passenger. But Kobe's not your average passenger.
All right. He took his time and he thought about that. He is insinuating that Kobe was never in the driver's seat. He was the one in the driver's seat. Kobe was a passenger. All right. For those of y'all that know what happens and it takes place inside of a vehicle, right? There's only one driver's seat. There's one person operating the vehicle. Everybody else is just sitting and along for the ride. For anybody that know Kobe Bryant, will you say that's an accurate interpretation of who he is? Kobe was the co-pilot. Fair. Fair. Kobe or Shaw Kobe. Come on, Dorito. Always me. Honestly, a center is always a passenger. That's fair. All-Star Edits is more like a pilot or co-pilot. Facts. GTG. Hey, HJ, hey, take care, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. But yeah. So the passenger had to take over a series whenever Shaq fouled out. Took over a series. Single-handedly led them to victory. After being told by his coach he needs to move the ball more, he's sitting on the ball too long, get his teammates involved, he's shooting too much. What does he do? He negates the plan, does his thing, lead them to victory. Guess what? Championship won, right? In Portland, whenever they were down big, who led the team back into the game, right? When they were down, what it was, 18 points going into the fourth quarter. Who took over the game single-handedly? Never mind. Oh, you're going to stick around a little bit longer. HJHD, I personally think Shaq sometimes got carried. And if we talk about him and Kobe placement, let's remember Kobe's 81-point game. Facts. Stacy, Kobe was the driver, Shaq was the gasoline in the car. That's hilarious. All-Star Edits, I would say Shaq wouldn't have been as good without Kobe. I think that's fair. Sir McSheep, buy grass is good. Dude, y'all funny, man. Always me. Robin didn't want to stay in Batman Shadow Knight or Shaq. Shot clock. AJ had 81 point. Kobe wasn't playing with Shaq that year. Yeah, GOAT. Welcome back, GOAT. Not Kobe was the driver. Shaq was the tires. Who's your Mount Rushmore for basketball? I'm gonna get back to that later, a little All-Star. But yeah, man, but it's just, and he took his time. He thought about that. Kobe's not your average passenger. So, you know, already Shaq is discrediting everything that Kobe added to the team. All right. And also in 2002, Kobe led the team in scoring. You know what I'm saying? But like all of the times he led the team in scoring, all of the all defensive team selections, you know, all of the times he had to take over games and will them to victory and be clutch and go toe-to-toe with Michael Jordan. And you got to think about it this way. Like back in that era, the guard position was deep, all right? You had a lot of fantastic guards that you had to go up against, or people in that swingman position, right? You had your Tracy McGrady's, you had your Vince Carter's, you had your Paul Pierce's, you had your Baron Davis, you had your Cuttino Mobley's, your franchises. You know, you had Allen Houston. You know, like that was the deepest position in basketball in that early 2000s era. I didn't even say AI. You know what I'm saying? So Kobe to be the best in that position, in such a saturated position with a lot of talent, it just speaks volumes of who he was as a player. But he's not your average passenger. I don't think that's a fair assessment. You know what I'm saying? And that's coming from a former teammate who's he said himself, and let me find a clip. He said himself, Kobe is the best player on earth. Let's see. He said himself, Kobe is the best player. All right. Let's roll that right quick. Hold on a sec. I got it right here. Let's roll it.
When and why did you come to the revelation that this is the greatest player on the planet, Kobe Bryant?
When I first came to LA, Jerry showed me a tape of this kid, and I knew he had potential. And a lot of people thought we had problems. We never really had problems at all.
Y'all about to get me copyrighted. Y'all about to get me copyrighted. Y'all about to get me copyrighted. He did not shut down the narrative that Kobe is the best player in the world. Craig Sager said it, and Shaq reaffirmed it, right? Hold on a second. I got another one for you. Another one for you.
I'm Melissa Rowland with the Los Angeles Times here at Barnes & Noble in Santa Monica, where Shaquille O'Neal is signing his new autobiography, Shaq Uncut.
Sammy, welcome back.
Kobe Bryant,
CW, J. Kidd, Nash.
Would you
What
go
you-
as far
what
as
you
to say
mean?
that he's the greatest NBA player of all time?
Oh yeah, at CWE, I'm talking about shooting guards. You know, J. Kidd and Nash, they were more like floor generals. HJHD, Kobe, the driver, Shaq, the radio. Wow. Hey, I mean, that's pretty fair though. Shaq was pretty good at music, man. I was playing the song at the beginning of the stream that I'm probably gonna get copyrighted now. But Shaq was a decent rapper, man. You know, he had some songs with Biggie Smalls and stuff like that. So, you know, Kazam, you know.
He's up there, you know. That's always up for discussion. You know, his name will be mentioned with the greats. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan. That's what makes this game so great.
Hey, Shot Clock. Hey, enjoy your night, man. Good night. Good night to you. Well, we'll catch you on another live.
It's a lot of fabulous players there, but he's by far the best Laker. And if he gets one more championship, he'll be tied with Kareem.
Where do you fall in that mix?
I don't know.
And I won't be too much long. I'll be wrapping up pretty soon too, man. Cause I gotta call it a night. I got work and I got my daughter's doctor appointment in the morning. So, but definitely, man. Good night to you.
I just like to make people laugh and have a good time. Your mother's so dumb, she thought Taco Bell was a Mexican phone company. I hope they rate me as one of the most dominant.
All right, yeah. So there we go there. But HJHD. I'm sorry, I can't say that quick. I'm just gonna call you HJ. Kobe, in my opinion, had the best rookie year. I disagree with that one. They was hating on Kobe in his rookie year, man. He wasn't really getting minutes, you know. So I think the best rookie year of all time probably is Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan probably had the greatest rookie year of all time. And I might do a video on that one day. Let's see, Always Me. Shaq was a part of Fuds Nikeans. I can't pronounce that. Let's see, rap group. So we got Rap Skills Facts, Jocelyn, Let's Go Birds, HHD 2002. But yeah, man. But we gonna go ahead. We gonna get back to this Shaq clip and where he's talking about, not Kobe not being the average passenger. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I gotta hear what else he got to say.
This makes him different, and doesn't. I can say this now. It doesn't really matter whose team it was, but don't ever get a twist on who was in charge. Don't ever.
Muhammad, appreciate it, man. With all the Kobe hate, it's good to see content like this. Facts, man. I mean, we gotta support the mama, man. The man's not here to defend himself. Everybody has been talking negatively about him lately in his past couple weeks, man. It's just, I'm getting tired of it. Former teammates and all. Like, what is this slander about? I don't get it. HJ, all right, I'm going to go. It's 12. Hey, peace. Get some rest. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you popping in live. But yeah, man, it's just, we got to defend Kobe. Jocelyn, don't forget Kobe carried Shaq throughout most of them playoff runs. Facts. That's what a lot of people don't want to discuss, though. They forget those moments. Whenever big shots needed to be made, Kobe was the ones making those shots. Always me. Kobe was the car dealer. Shaq was the buyer. All-star edits, Jeremy Linda. I'm not even going to read that. We'll get back to the video, though.
Team it was, but don't ever get a twist on who was in charge. Don't ever in your life get it twisted on who was in charge. Okay? But now that we got that out the way.
Kobe Bryant. Last time I checked, Shaq was out of shape, all right? And it's like, dude, I'm trying to be careful. I love Shaq. I'm a Lakers fan, right? I can't pick one or the other, right? Kobe was my favorite player of all time. But I'm not going to slander Shaq. But, man, let's just call it how it is. Chris Baseball Snacks, hip-hop clone. Facts. But let's just call it what it was, all right? Shaq was in bad shape. Who was the one pushing Shaq? Who was the one saying, Shaq, I'm not giving you the ball till you get in shape and try and give some effort? Can somebody answer that for me? Last time I checked, it was Kobe Bryant. So, seems like Kobe was the more responsible one out of the two. All right? Even Shaq said, hey, I knew I could do whatever I wanted to do in the offseason because I knew you was in there putting in work and I knew you would do whatever you could to make us win, right? Shaq said that. So who is in charge? It sounds like Shaq was following the leader. I knew you would do whatever you had to do to get us over the hump. But don't get it twisted. You know who was in charge. No, you can't say that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not fair to say that after you on the record said that, I did whatever I wanted to do in the offseason because I knew you was in there working, putting up shots and blacking out. All right. And I knew you was gonna come back in next season and will us a victory. That's a quote. Well, not a quote, but that's my interpretation of what I heard. All right. Dorito Money Gang, Kobe admitted that, I'll say that was years ago. I'm sorry, I lost that. Kobe admitted that was wrong what he did, but that was years ago. And now he's passed. And suddenly it's resurfaced. Facts. Chris Basketball Snacks, the Dream Shake was way sexier than Cobster Fadeaway. Cobster? The Dream Shake. Yeah, no, I can't say that. All-Star Edits. Chris, I'm going to have to disagree with that one. Facts. Yeah, because the Dream Shake was just, you know what I'm saying? Like a fadeaway is clean, man. You do you, boo. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. Like you can't say that after you had a track record of just not doing what you're supposed to do. Because if you're the leader and you're in charge, you're going to be the one leading the charge on people staying in shape, getting to practice on time, giving effort, working on your game. there's no reason why you're a professional and you can't make a free throw. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bruh. That's a contradiction. But anyway, we're going to roll a little bit more. I don't think we watched everything. We might have watched everything, but let's roll a little more.
But don't ever get a twist on who is in charge. Don't ever in your life get it twisted on who is in charge.
Kobe Bryant. You're not saying that you're in charge, right? So you leaving that question open to be interpreted however we feel. Are you saying that don't get it twisted on who was in charge? All right, Kobe Bryant. Right? Dream Shake. Wait, there's 31 ways to Dream Shake in a mini skyhook. Dream Shake is a Jordan signature shimmy. All-star, man. It's so funny. Hey, that's you know what? Hold on, man. Let's look at that. Oh my goodness. Hey, that's a fact. That is a fact. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, man. Let's look at this right quick. Hold on a second. Hey, All-Star Edis, you own to something, bro. You own to something. Hold on a second. Let's check this out. Oh, hey, on a slick though. On a slick though. All-Star Edis, you own to something. Hey. Oh, that's funny, man. That's funny. Hey, and now, all right, I got to find a Dream Shake now. Hold on a second. Because that's pretty freaking close. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let's check this out.
Oh, man. You got a camera?
Bulls have a 7-4 lead here. Opening up to Clark. Turns in.
All-Star Edis, bro. You golden for that one, bro. Let's see. Dorito Money Gang. Kobe was about to have generational run of 40-point games when Shaq was out. Yeah, guess what? Guess who asked him to stop that? Phil Jackson. Hey, Kobe, we about to lose a big fella. You got to stop that run. You got to stop your streak. And what Kobe does for the betterment of the team, because he knew he needed Shaquille O'Neal, right? He sacrificed his own run for the betterment of the team, for the betterment of his teammate. Facts. Chris Baseball Snacks, the whole NBA loss when there was no Rockets Bulls finals. I don't know, man. I mean, those were still some pretty good finals, though. New York is a pretty big market. FYL Sports Debates, what's happening? Yeah, I mean, I think the Knicks, I mean, it's a big market team. I think that was still a good finals with the Knicks versus the Rockets. And then, you got the Orlando Magic, young up-and-coming team. You got Hardaway, you got Nick Anderson, you got Shaquille O'Neal, you got pretty key talent there, and it's just they just couldn't stack up against the Dream. You know what I'm saying? Always Me. Kobe was asked by Phil to take the Robin role to keep Shaq. Yeah, when he was on that legendary run with all those points, right? Hey, we about to lose a big fella. You got to end that streak, Kobe. Chris Baseball Snacks, but Rockets versus Bulls would have been insane. Facts. It would have been, but I don't know. I can't make up in my mind that anybody was beating the Rockets in 94 95. I just can't see it. Like, Akeem Olajuwon was just on a different level. He was just on a different level. And I think a lot of people don't really give the Dream the credit he deserves. Like, this dude is one of the few players to have a quadruple double. Like, this dude could literally do it all. There's nothing he could do, Like, Jordan's signature shimmy, though, is definitely the Dream Shake, though, man. All-Star Edis, bro. You funny for that one, bro. But, yeah, man. But it's just, like the narrative got to stop with this whole Shaquille O'Neal thing, though, man. Like, Kobe was not the sidekick. He was definitely the one in the driver's seat whenever the game was on the line. You know what I'm saying? You got to give the dude his just due. But anyway, we're going to finish rolling this and see what else Shaq got to say.
Okay, but now that we got that out the way, what he said was correct.
Dorito Money Gang, they had literal brooms outside Orlando Magic's team bus in 95. That's a fact.
But people respect Kobe. Like, it's just, but it's like you can have conversations, arguments, and you can have silly conversations. That's a silly conversation. Like, the man is vital to my 3 championships. Vital. I didn't do them by myself. Vital. At some parts of the series, more vital than me. I did what I had to do, but if he don't do what he ever do, would we have 3? Never know. Right? I'm arrogant enough to say.
I mean, I can answer that, Shaq. No. You wouldn't have that. FYI Sports Debates. Tony Parker and Manu close games as well. They were never over Tim Duncan. Being a closer is just a role. Doesn't mean you're the first option. As far as options go, FYF, Kobe averaged the same amount of points as Shaquille O'Neal in those deep playoff series, right? You know, at one point, they was both averaging 38 points per game. I think it was only like 1 point, like point something off, 0.1 off. You know, so like, who is the first option in that situation? I think it was like 1A, 1B. And of course, like with Shaq being the most dominant force, does that open up, you know, opportunities for Kobe? Yes, but also with Kobe being aggressive, it opened up opportunities for Shaquille O'Neal as well. So, you know, like, I mean, in this situation, who is the first option between the two? And, you know, Kobe showed what he could do as a first option after Shaquille O'Neal left. You know, once Shaq left, he got 1 championship, and he wasn't even the first option. You know, Dwayne Wade was the first option with the Miami Heat. What Kobe does, 3 consecutive NBA finals, 2 finals championships, 2 finals MVPs. And also, you know, he had opportunity to eliminate the Phoenix Suns to where they had an epic collapse in the second half. You know, they was down 15 going into halftime in Game 7 because he didn't have any teammates. He didn't have any support because Smush Parker decided to not play good defense after Game 5 for some reason. Steve Nash started to take over, be aggressive, and the series was lost. But Kobe Bryant came close by himself, literally, knocking out the number 2 seed Phoenix Suns. You know, like, not many players could say that they almost single-handedly, with no help whatsoever, eliminate a top seed. FYF Sports Debates, 1B is still second option. Just sounds a bit better. It's just a role give by a coach. As Kobe said, fans never appreciate the second option, so he needed to kick Shaq out to be the man. Yeah, but I mean, in the closing minutes of the game, and your number 1 option is in foul trouble. You know, and that's really like when things matter. Like, it don't matter if you're 1A. If the game is on the line and you're in foul trouble, you're sitting on the bench. You know, like, your true number 1 option is the one that's actually affecting games. In late game situations, Shaq wasn't vital because he wasn't a good free throw shooter. You could hack him in the paint. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, did he score buckets in the fourth quarter? Late game situations, yes. But Kobe was that number 1 option in that situation. You know what I'm saying? And that's really when the game matters. It don't matter if you're the number 1 option, you're blowing everybody out. But whenever the game is on the line, crunch time, who's the ball going to? And typically you're giving the ball to your best option, your number 1 option. Kobe was the one that was getting the ball. You know, so I think that's only right. I personally think, I mean, yeah, the first year Shaq was number 1 option, but after that, like Kobe was the one closing out games, closing out series, you know, and he was the best player in that situation. So, you know, that's why, you know, I can't really say 1A, 1B. I mean, you know, is Shaq 1A? He was getting all the finals MVPs, but, you know, I think Kobe was just as effective. Always me, what they call a jelly now. It's Jordan's classic layup. FYF Sports Debates, even with 3 titles, fans and media doubted Kobe, said he couldn't win without Shaq. It never mattered how great he was on the court. Fan would treat him like Pippen. Yeah, and it's just because, the media bestowed him as Robin. And Kobe was actually able to do what he had to do after the math. And it's like, we can't necessarily, say that Kobe was the number 1 option when he played with Shaq. I'm not saying that, he was the best player or whatever in that time. But whenever it mattered, and the only thing that matters in basketball is winning games and winning championships, Kobe was able to do that. I'll say Robert Horry is probably more effective in those situations. Like, yeah, you could score a lot of points and you're a tough person to guard. Yeah, you got to have, double teams and all that stuff. But whenever I need somebody to make a clutch play, I can't rely on you. You know what I'm saying? I can't rely on you. So, yeah. So, a lot of that stuff was driven by the media. The media controls narratives. The media had a vendetta against Kobe because the comparison was Kobe's the next MJ. We got to protect our GOAT. I think a lot of stuff, stems from protecting Michael Jordan's legacy. People want Jordan to stay the GOAT so bad, they derail another player's legacy, like LeBron. LeBron gets it on a daily basis. Kobe, he's getting it now. Even I don't necessarily say Kobe is as close to Jordan as LeBron, but, like the media, they control the opinions of people. And they were saying that Kobe was number 2. Kobe was selfish. Kobe, need to pass the ball more to his teammates. They wasn't saying that about Jordan. They wasn't saying Jordan need to pass the ball more. Let's see. Always me. It took Kobe to make passes to Shaq to make Shaq look good. Yeah, hey, all big men need guards to facilitate for them. FYI Sports Debates. Let's not ignore all the game winners Shaq has as well. And oddly enough, he somehow made free throws in the 4th. FYF, I can't really remember many game winners by Shaq. I got to actually look that up and look into it, man. But, there's more game winners to memory of Kobe in my mind than Shaquille O'Neal. And the only game-sealing shot I really remember Shaquille O'Neal making was facilitated by Kobe. In that series against Portland, to close out the series. So, yeah, he could make a couple free throws in the 4th, but he didn't have many attempts because you wasn't even taking that chance on getting him to rock in that situation because you didn't want him to miss. Because that just wouldn't be smart. But, I'm not discrediting that Shaq is a great player. But I don't necessarily agree with that narrative that if you put anybody with Shaq, you're going to have the same outcome. Because in a lot of those championship runs, Kobe was the one that was willing them to victory. Always me, blame Phil Jackson for introducing Kobe to the triangle offense, which gets Kobe open, the same as MJ. Yeah. It's the same offense. It's all a scheme. I'd say, you put Tracy McGrady in that triangle offense, and he'll probably be just as effective. FYF Sports Debates, Shaq had buzzer beaters with that jump hook, multiple at that. FYF, let's look into this right quick. Let's look into this. And I'm not saying Shaq never had a game winner, but he wasn't hitting them at the same clip as Kobe Bryant. Let's see. All right, let's roll it. Portland
has 3 timeouts left. The Lakers have 2. Bryant to Shaq.
Hold on a second. Let's see what happens here.
Portland has 3 timeouts left. The Lakers have 2. Bryant to Shaq.
All right, that's 1. That's 1. Maybe I had to be in the moment. This is another game winner here. Let's see.
Shot clock at 8. You know what time it is. Malone time.
And a whistle on the play. And Malone.
Hold on a second.
Official Ken Mauer.
Hold on a second.
The double team. Don't be surprised if he passes.
Hold on a second, FYI.
Well, they fear the Lakers.
Hey, and I'm not discrediting that you're wrong, man. I just, like, I got to see it. I got to see it. Because the only one that came to memory was the first one we just watched.
You're playing for the win, so you got the last possession. That's what you want.
Utah's 15-game winning streak on the line.
4 seconds.
Shaquille fadeaway.
All right. So Shaq has game winners. But to my memory, all right, just in 1 year, Kobe had more game winners. Just in 1 year. So that's 2. All right. Let's run this. Let's run this for a second. Hold on a second. Let's run this for a second.
Bryant out deep. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. 2 seconds for the win. Got it.
And by the way, this is a 3-minute and 52-second clip. Video of Kobe Bryant buzzer beaters. All right. A lot of them are memorable. And last time I checked, Kobe has 8 game-winning buzzer beaters, which is tied for second most all time. Jordan has the most with 9. Who's also up there? LeBron James, Joe Johnson. Paul Pierce is also within that same group. So whenever the game was on the line, Kobe Bryant was the one that was taking over that situation. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's like, personally for me, I have Kobe higher than Shaquille O'Neal. Because what matters, all right? Winning games, making runs, initiating runs. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kobe Bryant was the one that was, you know, making that happen, starting that run, pushing the tempo, being aggressive. You know, oftentimes when Shaq was in foul trouble. So, but Shaq does have buzzer beaters, but not to the same level as Kobe Bryant. Now, that's all I could find on YouTube. You know, there may be more out there that somebody didn't clip and put it in a YouTube video. But, you know, to my memory, the only game winner I remember was when Kobe facilitated the assist. But the whole thing is just, I believe lately it's just the narrative has been, I think it's been very unfair whenever it comes to Kobe Bryant. You know, Bleacher Report started, which, you know, you can't blame Bleacher Report as a whole. It was an average vote, you know, that they did. Some people had him as high as number 3. Some people had him as low as 18, which actually caused Curry to actually enter the top 10, which I personally don't think Curry is better than Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Curry had the benefit of playing with Hall of Famers. I think Klay Thompson is going to be a Hall of Famer eventually. I think Draymond Green is going to be in the Hall of Fame eventually. Andre Iguodala is a very underrated player. I think he make it to the Hall of Fame. I don't think so. You know, Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's this whole thing that's been going on for the past couple weeks has been disrespectful. Jeff Teague don't think that Kobe was a good defender because he was getting cooked, you know what I'm saying, by Joe Johnson and Paul Pierce. MP, no cap, if Disney ever decided to like remake Boss Baby to keep up with diversity, you'd be perfect. Oh, appreciate it, man. You funny as heck. But yeah, man, so that's just my opinion, man. I just think, you know, the dude ain't here to defend himself, you know, but it's like a lot of these people, their tunes was different just a year ago. It's like the further and further we get away from that tragic incident that took place, people's opinions are starting to flip. You know, you go from praising a guy, oh, he's one of the best I ever seen, or he's the best I've ever seen, right? Now you have other players like Dwayne Wade. Oh, Pau Gasol was supposed to be Finals MVP in 2010. A lot of people thought that Pau Gasol should have won Finals MVP. You got players like and I think Gilbert Arenas. I think his take was actually misconstrued because he was actually speaking on behalf of the media. The media view Kobe as a sidekick, which is true. A lot of people view Kobe that way. But as a fan of the game, I can't agree with that narrative. You know what I'm saying? I can't agree with that narrative. Yeah, Kobe might have been robbing, but when the game was on the line and you needed a shot, who are you going to? Kobe Bryant. That 2002 season was one of Kobe's best seasons. I personally think he was robbed of MVP. He probably should have been MVP that year. You know what I'm saying? Who also was on that team? Shaquille O'Neal. Who won Finals MVP that year? Shaquille O'Neal, okay? So it's just, I don't know, man. We view the game differently. My opinion might be different than yours, but us as basketball fans, the only thing we can do is respectfully debate the game and talk about the game. So that's just my stance on it. As far as Shaquille O'Neal goes, you got to let whatever animosity you have go, which I thought they did. They shook hands, they hugged, all that stuff. He pretty much gave Kobe his flowers. Shaq, he could have got more. You know what I'm saying? Shaq was the one that actually hindered that dynasty at the end of the day because he was out of shape. He was out of shape. He wasn't really giving 100% effort. I think he secretly probably despised Kobe. But at the same time, I'm a Lakers fan. I love Shaq. But at the same time, it's like he got to be the main one that killed that narrative whenever it comes to people trying to disrespect and defame Kobe. But anyway, that's all I got to say. I appreciate anybody that stuck around to this point in the live. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I actually got work, and then I got to bring my daughter to the doctor. So anyway, I'll catch y'all on the next live. Thank y'all for the engagement. Let me know what else y'all want to talk about. I'm not sure when I'm going live again, but I'm going to be going live again soon. I'm going to try to shoot for tomorrow, but if not, maybe Friday. But anyway, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Love y'all.